Hey, David O'Gray here. As many of you know, I spoke at the Coalition for Council Priest rally in Chicago on September 10th, and I'm about to share with you my talk from that rally. But make sure you hop over to councilpriest.org to see what they're doing, because the work they're involved in is essential to the health of Catholic Church today. But also check out the full clip from the rally, because you had some great speakers there. You had Yvonne Seaman, you had Stella Moore, Judy King, Jason Jones, Father Altman, and a guest appearance from Mel Gibson. So hop over to councilpriest.org. But for now, here's my talk, and I'll see you soon.
All right. Up next, we have a man who is fearless for the faith. He is a brother of mine who also knows that God has no color. A Catholic author, historian, theologian, radio host of the David L. Gray Show, voicing truth and restoration on, he is also on, Radio Guadalupe Network, host of the podcast Talking Catholic with David L. Gray, and a man who is absolutely fearless. Let's welcome David L. Gray.
I like that music. I think I would like Rick James' The Big Payback better, but that'll work. Man, thanks my man. It's wonderful to see everyone out here supporting the Coalition for Catholic Priests. And everyone turn to the middle tent and give those council priests a round of applause, because many of them, they're paying a cost just for being here. At the dinner we had last night, I was watching the priests, the council priests. They're all gathered together, and I was watching them. From my time from being a Freemason, I'm always wondering, do the council priests have some sort of secret sign, some sort of like word they exchange? So at one point in time, I saw Father Altman turn to Father Lovell, and they did this weird little handshake with their fingers, but that wasn't a thing that really caught my attention. Father Altman whispered into Father Lovell's ear. I was reading his mouth, and it looks like he said, "This is a secret word between council priests. Super sucks." So, super sucks. So that's their secret. That's their secret word. But it's time that we draw the line in the sand. At some point in time, persecuted people have to realize this one thing, that you were created by God. And because you were created by God, Satan has no power over you. Because you were created by God, Satan has no power over you. Yet, in the Catholic Church today, there are some of the clergy who get to prance around acting like dollar store, Dollar General devils, and there's no accountability for behavior. No accountability. They get to do anything they want. And something is wrong with that. That's not right. It's time to do something. Because I said, if we don't do something, they're going to keep doing this. And what they're going to eventually do, they're going to rock us into Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome is when your abuser keeps abusing you and you accept it. And eventually you think that, oh, that's love. That's not love. These people hate us. Not because we're us. They hate us because they hate Christ. They hated Christ first. And I know some of you are saying, oh, David, there you go again. You're being hyperbolic. You're being extreme. You're giving some sort of political stump speech. No, they really do hate us. You have sitting bishops right now around the world mandating that we take an abortion-tainted or tested vaccine, but these same bishops haven't mandated a Sunday obligation for Mass again. I mean, where does this work at? They've mandated we take this vaccine that doesn't contribute to our salvation, but they haven't mandated a Sunday obligation for Mass. And I don't care that, we're being told by headquarters that, oh, it's just remote evil, just remote cooperation for evil. I mean, where did Jesus say, oh, go sin no more unless it's remote? Remote sins are okay. But remember, they don't want us to be saints. They don't want us to be holy. I mean, they don't even want the intercession of saints. They don't want the intercession of Saint Subich. He doesn't even want the intercession of Saint Michael at the Mass. I mean, these people, they're stopping the intercession of Archbishop Fulton J. Sheen. They don't want saints. They don't want holy people. We have bishops who cooperated with the government right now, all throughout the world, to shut down an entire sacramental system. We have bishops that right now are putting roadblocks in place to prevent the clergy from worshiping in a traditional Latin Mass. The last bishop who tried to do that, Jesus told him, the last bishop who tried to stop the sacrifice of Christ, Jesus looked at him and he said, "Get behind me, Satan." As I said, many of these clerics are devils. Jesus said it first. If you try to stop the sacrifice of Christ, you are acting like Satan. Included in their attack on his church because they hate him, they attacked the priests that have been called, and some that are being called, and some that have been ordained. Only a devil stops a good man of God. Only a devil runs his seminary in a way that persecutes heterosexual straight men, but celebrates, elevates, and advances men with these demonic sexual fetishes. Only a devil finds an excuse to dismiss and suppress priests whose only crime was being faithful to the dogma. Men like Father Altman, who boldly and loudly was telling the world how corrupt the episcopacy has become, because he saw first that these men, they do not love Christ in his church. They love the world, and they just want the world to love them back. And that is why they are willing to die of grave sin by letting unworthy politicians like Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi desecrate the Holy Eucharist, commit sacrilege against the Holy Eucharist. No man of God would ever allow such a thing. But again, these men are not of God. These are dollar store, Dollar General tree devils who are hoping that they just rock us in Stockholm Syndrome. I really shouldn't call them dollar store devils. I mean, I shop at a dollar store sometimes. Sometimes that's just where you are in life, or where you're at in the world. That's just what's there. I think I'm going to upgrade them. I'm going to start calling them Kmart devils because they need to be closed down. All right. Kmart devils. Because they're actually clever. They're a little bit clever. They're a little bit smart. Because these guys, for over the past 100 years, they've put together a whole network that protects one another, that looks out for one another, that insulates their network, that keeps outsiders out. And they've gotten to the point that they can give us any bishop and any pope who they want. They are also smart because they knew what Sister Lucia knew, that the last battle against Satan would be against who? Yes, against marriage and the family. And this is what shutting down the whole sacramental system was about. No marriages, no baptisms, no confessions. And this is what persecuting priests is all about. Because priests are the fathers of our church, the fathers of our church family. You get rid of the father, you destroy society. And that's what we see everywhere in the world right now, including in the church. You destroy the father, you destroy the family. A dangerous sign of our times right now is that the church and the world, who are supposed to be at odds with one another, are eerily similar. In both the church and in the world, the family is under direct assault. Fatherhood is under direct assault. They're both under attack. There is an elevation and celebration of the homosexual man, just as in the world, and we see that in the church. The post-Christian world, you get to be canceled if you speak the truth against evil. But those who tell us to, remember, if in a church, if you tell the truth or you speak the dogma, they'll cancel you. But in the world, you can tell as many lies as you want to, and don't get canceled. You can say Russia, Russia, Russia. Fauci, Fauci, Fauci. You get to say, oh, yeah, it was a fair and free election. There's no widespread fraud. Right? Those are the ones who do not get canceled. So it's time to do something. And thank God we have the Coalition for Catholic Priests ready and primed to bring attention to this issue, this attack on the fatherhood of the church. And we need to support them with our prayers, our time, our financial contributions, so they can build their network and support one another. Because when you protect a good priest who has been made a priest forever in the order of Melchizedek and has a permanent mark in the soul, you have done a good thing. And lastly, remember, pray the rosary for these priests. Because every time you pray one of these decades, what you're doing is you're busting a cap in Satan's ass. Every single one. There's 50 of them here. Send that devil running back to where he came from. But until then, until next time, blessings and shalom to you and to yours.